Hello and welcome to our carbs that evil. Uh, uh, uh. Today we'll be going over carbohydrates, the types, what they do for you, what you should be eating, and what to avoid, especially if you are on looking to lose weight. Um, and then at the end, we're going to go over a new challenge that's coming up, and stick around for that so we can tell you our free info session on that. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cheryl, and I've been in the fitness industry for over 20 plus years. I'm on my own fitness journey and fitness, health, wealth, whatever. Health is wealth, so health journey as well. And find things of interest to that come up on the journey, and that's what we're talking about today. And I'll let Sandy introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sandy, and I've been in the health and wellness industry for 10 years, over 10 years, and I have my own health journey that was through, and I'm really happy that I'm feeling healthy and feeling good, and I'm going to thank you for coming and joining us because there's a lot of things you could be doing, and you're spending your time with us, and we really appreciate that. We picked our subjects on, what people tell us they want to know about. We want to give value to everyone and help them understand a little bit more about something they may not know, or something that, sometimes you hear it from someone else. And yeah, then you go, oh, okay, I didn't realize that. So we're here
Mm-hmm.
to give you value and hope you enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show. Exactly. So, so today's came about. So currently, I'm in a 28-day a challenge to try to get my summer bod back, sort of thing. And I kept noticing people are asking about certain foods. Oh, is this food okay? How about this? And I kind of came to realize that we hear the word carbohydrate, and we're not sure of what's exactly a carbohydrate. Like we tend to know what's maybe not the good ones, but then there's some that are hidden or maybe not so obvious. And so what we wanted to do today is just to kind of explain the different types, and then give you some ideas of what to look for, what to avoid, and it also depends on your health journey and what your goals are. So we'll, as we go through, we'll say if this is for weight loss, or if this is for, you're looking to gain mass, that maybe you would add this. When I say mass, I mean muscle. I don't mean being a Hulk, but maybe you want to be a Hulk. I don't know. Something like that. So for talking points, again, we're just going to bring up a slide here. What did I do with it? I think I put it somewhere. Hopefully this is the right one. Yes, carbs. Are carbs that evil? Can you have carbohydrates and lose weight? Hmm. Yeah, I think we felt like this dog, right? Like you start cutting a little bit of carbs here and there, and you feel like you're eating drywall, or it doesn't have to be that way.
I like the look on his face.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Really?
Yeah, like really. Thanks, Mom. Not my dog, but very cute for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, can you have carbohydrates and lose weight? Of course, yes.
Hmm.
However, the key is to choose the right types and amounts. So, just to kind of give you an idea what carbohydrates do, if you didn't already know, I mean, we don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Carbohydrates are basically an energy source of your body, and your body will break down um, the carbohydrates into glucose, which is stored as energy, as glycogen in our muscles and liver. And so, as you need energy, uh, yeah, the glucose or glycogen comes out of your muscles, and away you go when you need to, go for a walk, go, I don't know, do anything really. work, walk, gym, anything like that. And then any excess is stored as fat, which that statement's kind of scary on its own, right?
Yes.
All right. So now that we know what they do, there are all carbohydrates the same. And this is where I think people get confused about what the different types of carbohydrates are. So are they the same? No, there's three different, there's classified three different types. There's sugar, starches, and fiber. And sugars are considered simple carbohydrates. They're found naturally in fruits, vegetables, dairy products, as well as added in processed foods. So if you think of anything with "-ose" on it, like glucose, fructose, sucrose, lactose, that is a sugar. So yes, lactose is a milk sugar. If you didn't already know, I know because I'm lactose intolerant. So having said that, that can add to weight gain, insulin resistance, and then again, other health problems. So those are the sugars that, you know, um, you're going to want to try to stay away from. And I know that it's kind of scary when you see, well, fruits and vegetables. Well, some are going to be higher on a glycemic scale than others. For example, like there's berries. Berries are lower, and then pineapple or banana is higher. So I can see why it's getting confusing for people because they're like, I don't know, what's a
Yeah.
carb?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And some things they'll say, oh, if you read something and it'll say no added sugar. Well, no, they didn't add sugar, but if you read the back,
Mm-hmm.
there's sugar in there, right? So just
Right.
be careful when you read your label.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. No added sugar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. They didn't add any more, but there's already a lot in there. That's why.
Exactly. Exactly.
And what starches are complex carbohydrates that are found in grains, legumes, and some vegetables like potatoes. Starches are made up of long chains of glucose molecules and are broken down more slowly than sugars, providing a steady source of energy.
Yeah. So
Right?
these ones aren't bad. And again, it depends on your goal. So, you might have like brown rice or something like that. Like the vegetables like potatoes. And again, it depends on where you are in your wellness or your fitness journey, if weight loss. So sometimes people what they'll do is they'll cycle carbohydrates. So they won't have any the days that they're not working out, and then the days that they are, they will. So it's kind of timing and everything can be of consideration when you're having starchy or even having your proteins before your starch, right? Just to again try to slow down the glycogen levels or glucose levels in your bloodstream. And fiber. Ooh, we all love fiber, don't we? Fiber is plant based. Is found in plant-based foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes. Again, it's not digested by our bodies, but it makes us feel full. Um, supports gut health and regulates digestion and everything else. So, having like quinoa or something like that. So, if you're like, oh, I'm really, really hungry, or having like a lot of vegetables, like a stir fry, or your quinoa or at quinoa and stir fry, then you get all these carbohydrates, and you're going to feel full. And sometimes people who are like dieting and want to lose weight, they're like, oh, I'm always hungry. So add those complex carbs and maybe a quinoa or something like that, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And the
So
protein too helps fill you up, right?
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And water. Like if you don't have water, um, yeah, you need to have water as well because it'll help, that feeling of fullness and actually help you digest as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you lose weight and have carbs?
Yeah, tell us. There's a way. There's a way. What's the way?
What's the way? What's the way? So, um, I mean, we kind of been hinting on it throughout the presentation, I guess, so far, is really to create a calorie deficit. So basically burning more calories than we consume. So that way we're not going to be storing the extra carbohydrates that we have as fat, right? We don't want to do that. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
And then the second point there.
Is one way to do this is by reducing our intake of carbs, especially refined carbohydrates like white bread. Yes, I'm saying it. Bread, pasta, and sugar. um, these types of carbohydrates are digested quickly, leading to spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels, which can promote fat storage and hunger. Yeah, you want to keep everything at that's what we have a glycemic level. You want to keep everything level. You don't want to go spike up and then go down, and then spike up and then go down, because you'll have urges of oh, hungry, 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 and then you'll plummet, and then hungry, right? So you want to keep everything on an even keel.
Yeah, I mean, we all been there where we have let's say a heavy carbohydrate meal, like turkey
Oh,
dinner with the stuffing, potatoes and the gravy, and
yeah.
then how do we like think, oh yeah, we have room for dessert, right? I don't know,
No,
because we're like, oh, I can still eat more, right? Or maybe,
yeah,
but yeah, or else you'll have that where you're tired because now you have the carbohydrates. It's like crash, like high,
yeah,
high, high crash. And
yeah.
then if you've had like alcohol's a carbohydrate, people.
No, don't say it so.
Yeah, I know, because it's converted into sugar, right?
Yeah,
And sometimes people don't know that either.
yeah,
So if you are trying to reduce, your weight and you're trying to be strict, um, you know, smart choices are, of course, like soda water and maybe like a vodka or a spirit like that. But then it's still alcohol and it's still considered sugar to your body. So
right.
yeah, just throwing that out there because yeah,
I didn't eat anything. Well, I didn't. I didn't
yeah,
eat anything.
yeah, yeah, yep. So by choosing complex carbohydrates like whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes, can help us feel fuller, longer, provide energy. These are rich in fiber, help regulate blood sugar, improve digestion, promote feeling of fullness. So complex carbohydrates is what you're looking for. And in the next couple of slides, we will give you some examples of them, because I know it sounds like they're all the same, but they're not.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
There's three types of carbohydrates. So think of going closest to nature as possible. And then you won't go wrong. Anything that's processed, even fruit juices, things that come in a box, things that you have no control over how they're made, like for
Mhm.
example bread. I mean, you can make almond bread. I don't know if you ever had it, or I made almond flour pancakes because it's low and low glycemic and healthier for you. So there's always ways, if you're definitely a bread person, but you're trying to lower those carbs and get more complex carbs.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then here's the examples, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, of processed carbs, fruit or vegetable juices, salted seasoned nuts, sweetened yogurts, processed cheese, refined bread, pasta, crackers, chips, cookies, sweets, and sodas.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Well, I had nuts.
yeah. And there's different types, and usually, if I used to really like getting the mixes of nuts and everything else, but a lot of
Mhm.
times they put like the chocolate or the like M&M or whatever it is, Smarties, depending on if you're
Oh,
Canada or US.
yes.
They put them in there, and then you go look at, or the fruit is covered with like a glazed sugar. So you
Oh,
think, oh, I'm having like dried fruit or something, but you look at the sugar content. Oh my
yeah.
goodness, like what am I eating? You'd be better off to get your own, like, almonds or whatever, and make your own than you would to be getting something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and
for
then
sure.
of course the other things that you think of, that are on there, like, or yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
Get plain, put your fruit in it. Now, if lactose, we had a discussion on milk and that it can cause inflammation, but let's say you get coconut yogurt. Just make sure that there's no added sugar. You add your own sugar, you add your own fruits, your berries or whatever.
Right, right, yes, yeah. And like I say, there's always ways, right? You
Hmm.
know, to get
Hmm.
around.
So we just thought we'd give you some examples of carbs when you're trying to get healthy. Now, again, depends on your goals, right? Someone may be like, oh, I really want to lose weight. So they're going to maybe they want to cut out the rice, or maybe only have it on their workout days. Um, but somebody who is muscle building is going to have more of those because their muscles need it to help grow. So it really depends on what your end goals are. And then, when you have brown rice now, or in your meal, it's not like it's not like all of your plate is rice. Like if you go down to a Chinese food restaurant and
Yeah,
you
right.
get, here's half is rice, half, like, it's not like that. It's like a cup. It's a
Yeah,
cup, right?
yeah, yeah.
And so I think that's the serving size is kind of what throws people off too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, it depends. Lentils are really good if you're doing weight loss. Quinoa, berries, beans, depending. And I mean, if you're not sure, you can, just take a screenshot of that if you're thinking of adding this, and all that. Greek yogurt, yeah, is good for cravings and stuff like that. Again, if you're lactose, or if you're concerned about milk products, then just find a substitute for that one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so again, this kind of came from people not understanding the difference in carbohydrates, and really learning you know kind of the types that there are, and kind of how to depending on your goal, again, kind of how to steer your plate or your diet.
Right.
um, yeah, so for me, I would definitely be right now be doing berries, quinoa, some beans. I do chickpeas a lot. They're really good in salad,
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking for something for that. But yeah, so that's what I would do, and I'm kind of in the weight loss zone right now. And then when I'm done that, I will be back to muscle building. So then you probably add some brown rice here and there and stuff like that. So
Right, right. Yeah. And you know, it's your portions too. Like we sort of touched on too. You know, most of your plate should be like the vegetables and your protein. But if you're having, rice or whatever, like you say, it's not like this much. It's like this much.
it's
And a serving is that, yeah, and like even your protein is like, the size of your, the cup of your hand, right? So your serving size also is important as what you're eating is how much
mhm.
of it you are eating, depending
Right,
on your goals too, of course.
right, right. So I found this interesting fact, and it's not on here, but I thought I would just read it because I found it really interesting. So there are two ways. Okay, this is because of the diet thing and trying to lose weight, and then what if I have too many carbs? So there are two ways your body will convert excess carbohydrates into fat. So at the very first slide, if you remember, it said then that excess amount of glycogen, carbohydrates will just basically store as fat. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to know what are like the weights. So if you eat more calories from carbohydrates or other sources per day than you are burning, so you want to have a deficit, your liver will convert the excess calories from carbohydrates into fat. No, okay, yeah. If you eat too many calories from simple carbohydrates, such as food containing sucrose, fructose, so sugar and fruit, then your body will convert the excess into triglycerides, fat, to be stored in your liver. So either way, you're screwed.
Okay, well that's on the positive.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
but and then I basically wanted to know, well, how long does it take for excess carbohydrates to turn to fat? Like, how long
Okay.
does it take, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's say you go and you have a really big meal and you're like, oh, I had way too many calories, or way too many carbohydrates. How long is this gonna, like, how long does it take for all these excess to turn to fat? So here's the answer. Not on the slides, but here's the answer. Once a meal is consumed, your body either uses the calories as fuel or stores the calories in fat cells to be used later. Within 4 to 8 hours from the beginning of a meal, your body begins to store consumed calories as fat. The first 1,000 calories or so are automatically stored in your liver and muscles as glycogen. Once the glycogen calories are utilized for energy, your body activates the stored calories within fat cells, known as triglycerides, to replenish the depletion of glycogen calories. So to maintain your weight, to be aware of what types of food you're consuming and try to limit your intake of processed carbs, which will in turn limit the amount of body fat you will store.
Wow. And
So,
that, wow. And that's 4 to 8 hours, right?
yeah,
After.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And that's why it's not, it's definitely not a good idea to snack at night
yeah,
after a certain time
right,
because it's storing as you're sleeping.
right. Your body's slowing down,
Yeah.
and so it doesn't need that much energy.
So it just stores automatically, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, cha-ching, over
So
here.
it used to be a joke in my house. Is like, if we had snacks before bed, we were training to be a sumo wrestler. And we just like, oh yeah, we're in trading, like, and because it could be stupid. I'd work late, I'd come home, eat, and go to bed. Like, it was just
Oh yeah,
stupid. It was
yeah.
just stupid. So that was what we said. So that was not on the slides, but I when I was researching this, I'm like, well, how long does it take? Like, how much do you need before you actually, whatever you're eating that you don't use is gonna, you know,
Yeah.
store.
Wow, that's a fun
So
fact. Yeah.
so that's just a fun fact there, people.
Well, it might not be fun, but it is.
No, not really, but it's informative, right?
Yeah.
It's informative.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
So,
good to know.
having said that, knowing that this is basically a summary, so you want to eat the right types, right amounts, and limited, and obviously not before you go to bed.
Right. Wow.
And
Mm, yeah.
so,
Yeah.
with that, we will kind of go into, if anybody out there is looking for more guidance on this, and maybe if you're on like a wellness and weight loss journey, we'll just go on to the next slide. Just give me a sec here. Move that. All right, so next week we are having a info session on 28-day weight loss challenge. I'm currently on. Sandy finished a couple weeks ago. A whole other 40-some people finished a couple weeks ago, and we have a 60-something in it now. And what it is basically weight loss on steroids, but not really on steroids. But weight loss, like pulling out all the stops, like every single trick in the book to try to kind of kickstart your summer so you can fit into your clothes, so you feel really good, like stepping into summer. And so what we wanted to do is kind of have a information session for free to kind of tell everybody what it's about, because we talk about it here and there, but we really haven't told you a lot. So it is registration, because we only have so many people that we can have at a time that we can answer questions, but we're going to give you an outline of what's involved, what we need from you, what you would expect of us, and maybe show you some. Well, we will show you some of the past people's results, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah. And And with the 28-day weight loss challenge, this free session, and you can register for the session for questions that you might have for us. And the thing is that 28 days. Okay, so you know, there's that bathing suit you want to fit into, or maybe it's pants, or maybe you're going to a wedding, or you're doing, you have something you want to be at, or whatever your goal is. We've got something for everyone, right? Whether it's depending, whether it's 10 pounds, or you want to lose more than 10 pounds, right? 5, 10 pounds. You ever think, oh, I just can't seem to lose that last 5 to 10 pounds, right? Or more too, right? So
Yeah, one thing that I found the first week was so the first couple months of the year I lost weight. I was kind of in my body's zone where it says, hey, I want to hang out here. So it's hanging out there, and then I'm like, okay, I was too busy to do the first one. I'm going to do this one. Okay, fine. So the first week, I'm just like, this can't be right. I'm getting on and off the scale about 3 times. I'm like, no, 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 no. Seriously, like I kept doubting myself. So, so I'm like, I got to take a picture of this because I don't believe this, right? So, and it apparently it's not uncommon. So if you feel you're stuck, that you've tried everything, like I said, we pull out all the stops for this. It's kind of all the tricks of the trade, from all like different, from eating, from intermittent to accountability to all that stuff, kind of put all together. Um, and again, we're going to go over it, but it's totally crazy. So yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So to
yeah.
register, I did put a link there. So you're welcome to join.
Right. Yeah. And there's just so many people, so want to get your registration in there so we can help you all and answer your questions. And it's starting June 6th, so we're having our information session on the 16th to help you, to just give you some more information so you can make an informed decision. Right.
Yeah.
Left foot, right foot, go. Left
Exactly.
foot, right foot, go. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, and it's a lot of fun, and it's very informative, and we really are a great community. And like I said, there's accountability, and you'll find out a lot more because it's
Yeah.
really, really successful.
Yeah. So we hope to see you there. Again, the links below this video, wherever you find this video. And yeah, we hope to see you there and asking lots of questions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be. We just have so much fun. Yeah, and we're here to help you in any way we can, and just get be you, just be yourself, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, I think we are going to bid adieu.
Thank you
Bye.
for joining us, and yeah, or the recording, and we appreciate your time and being here with us. So
Exactly.
have a great day, evening, or whatever, wherever it is where you are.
Exactly. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.